It used to be that when you mentioned a foreclosed house, people shuddered and thought of horrible, dilapidated homes that were unlivable and needed a ton of work before they could even be resold. The thought of living in that home was almost unheard of, and if people did so, they tended to be quite ashamed, or at least felt a certain stigmatism towards the idea of buying and living in that house. Basically, foreclosures were homes purchased by either those who flipped houses for a living or invested in homes for rental units. People who wanted to purchase a home and live in it went about it in a typical fashion of purchasing a home from a seller and viewing the home in the most pristine condition that sellers could possibly get it in. Well, those days are gone. The stigma of buying foreclosed houses has not only been removed, but it has almost taken a turn in the opposite direction, with people seeing the purchase as a smart financial move in many cases. With the onslaught of foreclosures and short sales hitting the market, literally flooding the market with houses of every type, style, and condition, buyers have ample homes to choose from and great prices to work with. Suddenly, people had been putting money away and creating decent credit history in order to buy a home had a lot more options to purchasing homes that were in foreclosure at much lower prices than purchasing homes from sellers at true value prices. Keep in mind that today's buyers aren't just investors, and homes aren't always in poor condition. Today, many foreclosed homes are simply homes that, because of bad economic times, lost jobs, and upside-down mortgages, have been foreclosed on. Good people who have found themselves in bad positions simply allow the banks to take the homes and walk away from them. Many times, these homes are even in upscale housing areas and extremely well-kept homes that were owned by a double-income or single higher-income families. The houses were kept up, repaired, and maintained regularly as needed and in excellent conditions because these are the types of people who own the homes. In a recent study by Realtor.com, 92% of potential buyers of foreclosed homes had plans of living in these homes. This is truly an unprecedented number in comparison to the past history of the sale of foreclosed homes. It's important to recognize the positive aspects of homes in foreclosure. More house for less money. No longer only absurd and torn apart homes are available, but more homes that have been kept up until the owners move out. Minimal damage, repair, and upkeep needed to get the house in livable condition. Getting a great deal on a good, solid house. Often, lenders who own foreclosed homes are more willing to work with buyers to give them the money to buy. Lenders are more willing to make deals to get rid of an excess of homes under their ownership. Higher valued homes selling at lower costs can sometimes allow for additional funds to be lent so the repairs that do need to be done can be taken care of. And with 1.5 million foreclosures backlogged at one point, there are a number of homes to choose from. Buyers interested in foreclosed homes has skyrocketed by 159% in the past 2.5 years. 64% of overall buyers claim they are very likely to be interested in foreclosures, as opposed to the only 25% of buyers who would be likely to buy a foreclosed home 2.5 years ago. Common sense tells us that 1.5 million backlogged foreclosures that were with us at the prime of the foreclosure epidemic are being purchased quickly by not only investors but everyday buyers, reducing the number of foreclosures available even faster than they used to sell because the types of buyers have changed during this trend. Areas that are going to be affected by another increase in foreclosed homes entering the market are states that require the judicial system to be involved. Most of these states are in the Northeast and Midwest sections of the U.S., so while the non-judicial foreclosure states may have seen their peak in foreclosed homes entering the market, the Midwest and Northeast are either experiencing their peak in foreclosure sales or expecting to see them very shortly. While real estate prices are increasing slowly, areas that are just beginning to be inundated by judicial foreclosure homes may actually see home values lower during this time. Basically, you have to know the area you are in, and if your area has or has not experienced the peak time of foreclosed homes entering the market. Work with a realtor to find listings of foreclosed or short sale homes to potentially get better prices and deals, along with getting a jump on when these homes hit the market. Buyers can feel more confident that the majority of the homes being offered under foreclosure are going to be homes that have been cared for, at least for the most part. There will be fewer houses that have been abused and unmaintained in comparison to previous times when foreclosures were homes that were basically fixer-uppers or very distressed properties. People no longer think of buying foreclosed properties like buying piles of trash and transforming them into low-end money-making houses and rental units. Foreclosures are not just for investors anymore. The stigmatism of living in a home that someone else has lost to foreclosure has been lifted due to the number of homes available, the types of homes available, and the situations attached to the homes that are available. Foreclosed homes are often an excellent way to get a good deal on a nice piece of property. You no longer have to feel embarrassed or worried about the words foreclosed home, presenting an instant stigmatism of a gutted, worthless piece of property that needs thousands of dollars of work just to make it livable. Today, the words foreclosure have begun to instill thoughts of a great deal in a financially savvy move.